Hi again. I know it's been quite a bit of time now, but life got in the way and I couldn't make videos for a little while, but here I am. I'm back, ready to make more videos. I got a few new ideas lined up, and today I'm going to be drawing a cartoon mountain goat. For those of you who have been following my TikTok page for a while now, you'll know that I've been doing some kind of cartoonish illustrations of different animals. So I thought I'd take that and show you my process for it. So let's not waste any more time. Let's get to it. Okay, so my first step when creating one of these drawings is I'm gonna go to istockphoto.com because it is free of AI generated content and it's a bunch of copyright free images, so I can kind of freely look. So we're just gonna search up mountain goats and see what we come up with. All right, so boom, here we go. We got mountain goats. This is what I like to see. And so what I do is I'll start just kind of scrolling here, looking at the images and everything. And I'll look for kind of shapes that I can kind of play with. I like to accentuate different shapes when I'm drawing these guys. And that's part of my process. So let's see if I can find a good one real quick. There's a good one right at the top. I'll go back. So I like this pose because it really screams mountain goat to me. But you can kind of see how the feet are together, all 4 feet are together, and the body kind of creates a triangle. So that's something I'm going to want to try to accentuate, probably a little bit of like the long face as well. And so once I've kind of figured this out and decided on what features I want to make cartoonish, I'm going to break out my sketchbook and start sketching. So now that I got my sketchbook out in front of me, like I said before, I'm just going to try to make some basic shapes, kind of draw a rough outline of what I want. So we're gonna start kind of with a triangle-y shape to be the back and the body. Just draw a few lines down for the feet. And then we'll draw the neck lower, just kind of accentuate this hump area. And then draw the head like that. So once I've kind of got that rough sketched out idea, then I'll kind of go back, start kind of drawing in shapes, still pretty rough. And just kind of shape things out a little bit. I'll have like draw a little flat nose there, draw around there, like that sort of thing. So as you can see, I have kind of sketched it out, given a little face, giving out the body, really want to accentuate that hump and kind of keep that triangle shape that I was talking about earlier. So once I got it at this point in the drawing, the next thing I'm going to do is just kind of add some of the finer details, such as these guys are really fluffy, so I want to make sure that the hair looks kind of fluffy. And yeah, I'm going to go ahead and do that. So once I reach this point in one of these drawings, the final thing I do before I kind of get it ready to go on the iPad to trace over again is I'll just go over these lines one more time, make them extra thick, make them extra dark, just so I can fully make sure I'm going over the right lines as I get on the iPad. Okay, so here is our little mountain goat, ready to go get scanned and onto the iPad. See, I kind of made the edges a little less jagged, give them a little more of a fluffy look. But yeah, I'm gonna scan them and get them ready. Now that I've got everything scanned up, I'm just gonna open up a new Procreate canvas. And I'm just gonna insert the goat that we took, and I'll work this way. I'll change the screen size later. Works better for him like this, but I'm just gonna get him into there and adjust the angle I'm working at. And for the inking, I like to use the Studio Pen. I find that's what works best. Change the color to black. And what I'm going to do now is I'm basically just going to trace over all these lines that I did before. So now that I've got everything squared away, I've traced everything, I'm gonna turn off the first layer. And I'm just gonna go back over this layer, thicken up some lines, maybe erase a few others, just kind of make it look a little cleaner, a little more cartoonish, and go from there. Now that I've finished all my line work, freshened it up a little bit, made it look a little more professional, I'm gonna open up a new layer, put it below this layer, and it's time to start coloring. So for the mountain goats, obviously they're kind of white, so we're just gonna go a little bit of like an off-whitish, a little bit of brown in there kind of color. Let's see how that looks. Maybe a tad lighter than that. Let's see. Still not quite happy with that. Okay, that's pretty good. A little creamy color. So I'm just gonna color this whole guy in with that, and then I'll add some shadows. Now that I got them all colored in, I'm gonna do the final step, which is just adding some shadows. So I'm just gonna take that color that he is right now. I'm just gonna drag it down a little more into the gray area. And I will just give him a little, just go with a little line. So I can kind of imagine where I'm gonna shade him in. And yeah, we'll go from there. Now that the shadows are done, I'm just gonna add a little bit of a little contrast with the fluffy bits. Just kind of draw in behind it. Another kind of shadowy bit. Just add a little bit of texture. Oh, that looks nice, and I'll do that for all of them. And there we go. We now have a cartoon mountain goat all drawn up. I was gonna draw him standing on something, but I have an idea about editing these guys into real life photos. Kind of a fun little gimmick. So I didn't draw it just for that reason, but I hope you guys enjoyed. I'm glad to be back making videos, and I'll hopefully see you next week. Bye.